Okay, sun's going down. What I like to do is I stay busy up front trying to split my wood, and then I come down here in the afternoon and into the evening and I start working on the chinking here. Okay, now if you guys follow our channel, you guys saw the other day when we did a video with this building here. This is our learning center, and we call it the powerhouse. It's got our solar panels on there that aren't hooked up yet, and you know, we're just gonna have some lights in there and be able to charge the laptop and this kind of stuff. Maybe have a deep freezer if we can ever find one in North America again. And then so this is what it is, and it's a learning center, and that way you can come and see solar power, you know, in use and the system and everything. So that's the next thing that we're trying to finish here on this building, and finish the outside. So the boards I'm actually milling up front. Remember yesterday when we saw the sawmill? I'm milling up front all these boards out of the trees that we get, and they're all dead trees, by the way. And so this is what it looks like, and it's turning, and the way it's turning out. And then if you guys have been following along, on the last video I was doing the chinking, okay? And we were using, well, I don't have it down here right now, but we were using the tubes, and you guys were like, yeah, you were not gonna like those tubes. And it was too much, you know, too much with the tubes. So I got the 5-gallon buckets, and I've been going at it a little bit, but I was running into a problem with the chinking. So I'm going to show you guys what was going on and explain to you my solution, and then show you where we're at on the project. Alright, let me see if I can find it for you. Alright, here's a good example right here. Alright, now what you can look, just look real close right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of a roll right here. Okay? And what was happening with the chinking was, as I was putting it inside of the gap, it was getting too heavy. Okay? So then it was like starting to sag. Kind of like old people's skin. Alright, so that's where we're at right now, but I'm going to show you guys what I did to fix it. You can kind of see where it just has that little roll right there. It's not a bad thing, it's more aesthetics than anything else. The goal is to have the water shed down the building, hit this, and then just go right on down, see? So if you have this part right here too far in, you're going to create a ledge, and that water will come down and create a ledge for the water to sit on, and that water will sit there and actually start rotting the board away. So some guys, they go in up at the top, because that's okay, the water will come and drip down, and then they cone it out towards the bottom, so it's like, okay, but we had this as just flat. It works just as well, if not maybe even better. Alright, but you can just see that little roll there, that's all. But let me show you how I fixed it. So the solution was to go in a day or two earlier. I was using up another bucket, and then I laid down a base, right? So now it's tacky, it's in there, and then I'll come along and smooth on this next layer, right? So ideally I was thinking that that would work. So we'll see right now if my idea is genius or just pretty average. But you will notice that it's probably going to go a little bit faster than the tubes. So I just had got the tubes. I wasn't really sure how much I was going to take, because this is pretty unconventional, and I was just kind of guessing at it, and I didn't really remember even what I had used for the log cabin. So, but I will say that the stuff is pretty easy to work with, and that's what I do like about it. Okay. You see now it's got something to tack onto, so I'm not going to see that running that I did before, and that'll help out a lot, because my OCD was flipping out. And again, if you guys are going to do this, right, if you want to do the cheaper, you know, version, right, because I saved money because I milled my own logs, so spending a little extra on chinking is no big deal for me. But if you want to make it less expensive with the chinking, some of you guys were complaining about how much it is. Some of you guys complain about how much everything is, but I'm just saying, if you want to get it a little less expensive and use less chinking, just put your boards closer together, like, you know, something like this area down here. So basically you just smear this stuff in there. It's pretty easy to work with and set up. Gives you a little time. It's super forgiving. You can see, look, you're watching me put it on. It's kind of easy to do. And like I said, you just want to definitely make sure you have a connection on the top run and on the bottom. Okay? So you don't want any moisture getting behind this chinking. So once I get all this chinking done on this whole wall, it's like a whole complete wall of solidness. There's no rain or anything that's going to get behind there. So the water barrier, you know, this moisture barrier is actually just overkill. So it's not going to see any moisture behind these logs now. All right. And you know, I kind of just make this stuff up, y'all. I mean, a lot of the buildings that I did here, I just kind of thought about them and then put them into action. I'm going to have a tour on this building here, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we did and just the designing of it that made it conducive for collecting sun on the front. All the little things that we thought about when we were thinking about just even how the roof is and the roof lines and how the solar panels were going to live on there and everything else. So, okay, now all you need is a little squirt bottle, right? And where's my little brush? Hold on a second. And you go through a lot of napkins because you want to keep, you can come back and clean it later, but you want to keep the runs down a little bit. So just a quick little spritz, and then you can see how it looks kind of rough. I'll give it a little spritz here on my little sponge. That's all that is, a little sponge. And then it's just kind of painting and blending it in. And I enjoy doing it. I like the creativeness of it. Some of you guys, you knew it was going to take me a second to get all this done, but that's okay. You know, this is all part of the thing, part of the creation process. You know what I mean? And then I can look back and, you know, I can look at this when I'm finished and be like, wow, my hands did all that work. And it took some time. And I like it. See how that just goes in there like that? And you just kind of keep working it down. And if you just keep it wet a little bit, it's easy to work with. And on the 5-gallon buckets too, you could actually get a tube. They have a tube that you can suck the stuff up into. It's a big tube, so it's not like using the little tube. If you want to do that, you know? Everybody does stuff different. You gotta find what works for you. I didn't want to spend money on the tube, and I just figured it'd be good if I just spatulated it right in there. And then you just kind of clean off those edges like that. And then anybody standing anywhere around here thinks basically this is a log cabin. But these are just boards that I cut. They're 1 inch thick, 11 inches wide. And this just gives it the look. You know? It's just fun. Alright, I'm going to keep going here. You guys can watch me for a second and then we'll talk about it. But I do think that the idea is definitely working. No sag. There you go. And then I'll just keep working down the row here. I know you guys are thinking, oh, You could use a rag or something, but this stuff just gets kind of gooey on there. So you best just like to have it real quick where you hit it, wipe your hand of it, and then throw it off to the side, because once you start getting it caked on there, it can get a little tricky. And a little sticky. All right. Yeah, just pile it right on. And I just let this set up for the one day. I put it on yesterday. I just been coming down here and kind of chipping away at it every day after I work up at the wood lot. Come on, leave a comment down below. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? You know, I had the first time I ever had the idea of, after I built a log cabin, I was like, man, how could somebody make a log cabin and kind of be on the cheap, right? And then I saw that T111 and I thought, wow, man, if I turn that on its side, and that's how I built the outdoor kitchen. If I turn it on its side, it looks like a log cabin almost. And then I got some paint, and then I matched the chinking color, and then I just, you know, painted the in-betweens and then stained the boards. Looks great, you know, looks like it's part of the landscape. It's durable. It's been up now, I think 4 years, and it's holding up. I don't think it's going to last forever and ever and ever like the log cabin will, or probably even like this building will probably last a lot, you know, a long time too, but it's going to last more than I need to worry about. That's one thing, guys. You know, you want to build it to last, sure, but you know, we only have so much time here. Some people were asking about some things around here, and I'm like, you know, if I'm 52, I know it'll last 50 years, so I won't have to worry about it too much. Try not to worry too much. It makes you stressed out. When you're stressed out, that hurts your immune system. When your immune system's hurt, then you can get sick. Okay? That's why we don't get sick. We don't like to get stressed out. So we stay stress-free. Okay? And you just hit it with a little squirt. And then a little smoothing. You just want to, you know, make sure there's no air pockets or anything, that everything's covered up, because as this stuff dries, it's also going to pull away a little bit. Doesn't move much. I will give it credit for that. That's its claim to fame. But it will move a little bit. And so you want to make sure you have the edges covered good, so if it pulls back, you don't leave any gaps there, because then that invites water to seep in there. Okay? And you can make this as rough or as smooth, whatever you like. There's no, you know, chinking standard. You just kind of do it to your preference, how you like it. You know, if you like the brush marks in it, if you like it smooth, you know. Everybody's OCD level is a little bit different. So don't get hung up on how I'm doing it or anything. You know, if you're gonna do this, just kind of do what works for you. You know, some people, a little bit of that down there would drive them crazy. It bugged me on the last cabin, but then after I thought about it, and some people had even commented, wow, that stuff, you did a really good job chinking that stuff. You didn't get any outside the lines. And I thought, man, maybe it should look a little rougher. So that's why I'm a little rougher on this one here. And it goes a lot faster than this. I'm just talking to you guys and trying to explain the process. But I can get through a 5-gallon bucket pretty quick. But I'm just hanging out with you guys. Because believe me, if it took this long, I'd never get done. Alright? This is for the sake of journalism. Alright, I think my idea is working though. Can you guys see how it's working there? Look at that. So I think that's going to be fine. Give it that old pioneer feel. Ha! I love this stuff, man. I just love the creativity of it, you know? Everything doesn't have to be cookie cutter, and everybody's place doesn't have to look just the same. Everybody has such unique qualities. And there's so many like cool places you could live and things you can do and build with your imagination. Try not to get bootstrapped down too much in it. There we go. Look at that. So I just want to make sure I'm making that connection up at the top there. Good. Well, that's what's going on around here. I got to get this chinking done. I'm going to get that 5-gallon bucket empty before I take a shower in the outdoor shower. And then I'm going to cut some more wood up at the sawmill. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that so you guys can see that. It's a 6,000-pound log. That's next up on the sawmill up front. And then I'll show you guys some of the work that I've done up there getting ready for our wood processing center so we can sell lots of firewood. And show you guys right here on the channel how you can make a 6-figure income possibly, with a few tools on your homestead, okay? And then you can have a family business, spend more time at home, spend more time with your family, and there's other ways you can do it, but I'm just showing you guys just one more way, okay? So hopefully you guys are digging how this is going together. Leave a comment down below if you've thought about it, or if you're digging how it's looking, or even if you think it's just a completely stupid idea. Alright guys, thanks a lot for stopping by the homestead. We will see you guys tomorrow, because we're going to be having the videos every day, just to at least let you guys know what's going on. We're committed to that. And then as we get going and can get more time, because Stacy's still working on the garden stuff, we'll have longer videos and more in-depth videos. But I definitely wanted to show you guys how I solved that little bit of a problem I was having with the chinking here on the building. So, alright, sun's going down. Appreciate you guys stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.